Full Steam Ahead, we kind of like to do different segments, like to try different things, get different tastes, different flavors. So I'll let Allante go on ahead and lead our Lit segment of the podcast. And Lit stands for Lessons in the Trap. So you can go ahead and take that away.
For sure. So this week's lesson in the trap. I kind of was going back and forth between two songs, but then Two Chainz came out with a new album, so we gonna skip the first song I had in mind. But I don't know if y'all heard of Deontay Hitchcock. Are y'all familiar with that artist?
Yeah, I actually just was listening to his album, one of his albums that came out earlier this year when I was heading home a couple weeks ago, and it was slapping.
Yeah, right. Like I found one of his songs randomly on like an Apple playlist and have been following him, and so he did just come out with his first album called Better. And he has a song called I Remember that I just thought was so fire. And this applies to like my life. I guess like he's talking about his transition to the music industry and like how even though his surroundings have changed, like he's never going to forget who he is and where he came from. And I feel like that's something it's always in the back of my mind as I'm continuing with my education. I'm almost done with my PhD, and it's like, yeah, the CMU stuff is cute. I love it. I'm happy to be here. But at the end of the day, I'm an Aggie and I'm a Detroiter. So like, I always love any song that kind of like brings me back to that. Like, yeah, all this stuff is great, and I can definitely be in these spaces, but those are the things that I kind of present and think of first and who I want to stay true to. So what y'all got for y'all lessons in the trap?
Who wants to go first? I can go first. So speaking of Detroit, so I had to write mine down. So that the latest Big Sean album, I really rock with that song, Deep Reverence, the one featuring Nipsey. So the line is, and how the F is people that never met me that hate me. I wonder if they understand that I meditate daily and feel like my life purpose is to give inspiration. Despite the hit songs that there's just no escaping, that I take care of my family and beat the odds that were deadly. You hate that? That just reflects your lack of succession. So I picked that because it really, like when he's talking about people hate him and they don't know him. Like you see artists and you see people, you might see people, we can take it even away from celebrities, but you see people on Instagram and stuff, and you're like, oh, they got this or they got that, or they are this way or they're that way, but you don't really know someone really until you talk to them, or you kind of get to see what their mindset is like. And then it really hit me where it said, I feel like my life purpose is to give inspiration. And I definitely feel like that's me. Like, I feel like I was put in engineering and STEM to inspire others, but to show others that you can use these fields to do more than just, like if you go into biology, you can do more than just biology. You can go into engineering and you can build your own company, or you can go into math and you can be the person coming up with a new equation, but also, doing stuff in accounting. It just depends. And then when he continues to break it down, he says, despite the hit songs, there's just no escaping. And the whole no escaping thing is you can't escape your purpose. So, and a lot of people try to do that. So what you were put here for, it's not always going to be roses. Accept it, keep it moving. It's going to be rough times, but you really just got to stay humble, grind it out, and then you'll start to see your purpose there. And taking care of your family. And really, when he says you hate that, like basically you're hating on what he does, you're hating on his purpose, when really you just gotta stay in your own lane.
I feel like I need to snap your fingers very quick.
I went a whole different direction with this.
It don't matter.
So, the song I picked was Drake, Underground Kings.
Oh yeah.
It's off my favorite Drake album. Mm-hmm. And I just love that song because I just feel like he talking shit, he cocky. And it's like, look at Drake now. Like he's a pop star. Like you can play Drake in any group of people, any mix of people, and you can find songs that's a great hit. And it's just like, I just love to see like where he started and how he is now. So I love that song. So that's why I picked Drake, Underground Kings. I mean, and that's my favorite Drake album. So I had to pay a little homage for that.
Yeah, cool. Shout out to Drake.
Yeah.
So Far Gone album, freshman year. Good times.
Takes you back to that time, man.
Oh yeah. I'll go next. I took it back a little bit. I chose Lupe Fiasco, Kick Put. I was actually gonna pick a Pusha T song, but that one was a little bit too like boastful, I felt like. So I'm gonna go with this Lupe Fiasco track, Kick Push. It's a classic song. For me, it was like junior year of high school, I think, and it was an era where, I don't know, styles were changing and like just a lot of stuff was happening as far as like black culture. And so anyways, his opening lyrics for Kick Push. First got it when he was 6, didn't know any tricks. Matter of fact, first time he got on, he slipped. Landed on his hip and busted his lip. For a week he had a talk with a lisp like this. Now we can end the story right here, but Shorty didn't quit, it was something in the air. Yeah, he said it was something so appealing. He couldn't fight the feeling, something about it. He knew he couldn't doubt it, he couldn't understand it, branded. Since the first kickflip he landed, labeled a misfit, a bandit, cocoon. His neighbors couldn't stand it. So he was banished to the park, started in the morning, wouldn't stop till after dark. Yeah, when they said it's getting late in here, so I'm sorry, young man, there's no skating here. And so you look at those like all those lyrics, and of course he's talking about skateboarding, which is dope. But I think you can apply the lyrics to anything that you're doing in life, as far as like getting knocked down, having to get back up, progress, you know what I'm saying? Things are challenging. Nothing really comes easy, you know what I'm saying? Like as far as setting your new goals and getting to that next level in your life. And so I wanted to reference this song because, I mean, we've all gone through something, you know, that we had to face adversity and whatnot, especially being, you know, black folks, just put it straightforward. So, yeah, this track, that whole album was fire, but yeah, this track is, of course, is a classic. So, shout out to Lupe.
I'll go next. That's a perfect segue into mine. I took it back to, as Matt was saying, being black personally in design. There's just not a lot of us in this field. And so, you know, I've dealt with my bouts of imposter syndrome, and I'm actually working on my thesis, and we have to have like pieces for our exhibit at the end of the year. And so I've been trying to conceptualize all these different pieces, and one of them is centered around the word competence. And so I've been ruminating on that these last couple of days, and the lyric that has been popping out to me has been Kanye's Last Call, where he says, "No, I can let these dream killers kill my self-esteem, or use the arrogance as my steam to power my dreams."
Let's go.
And I mean, you know, Kanye, you know, that the person is a whole nother subject, but as a musician, I just really, he's just really gifted and talented, and I think we can all aspire to the same level of self-love as he has. So yeah, when I'm trying to like hype myself up, I definitely am listening to some Kanye to kind of like get my mind right. So yeah, that was my song.
Kanye's a goat in his own right, for sure. There's no doubt about that. Yeah.
I'll go ahead and go next. So this song I had heard a lot up until the time I actually it started resonating with me. That was in the Dream 3 with J. Cole.
Oh yeah.
I knew James would like that one. But the time that this song like actually started resonating with me, I was in residency. I had some stuff going on at work and had to get some assignments that felt like, you know, it was impossible. And obviously, like looking back, a lot of things that we go through aren't as like big as what it seems like when you're like in that moment. But like in that moment, it seemed like everything that, you know, it's like I'm not gonna be able to finish this like in a quality way. And so I don't remember if I was scrolling for something to listen to like while I was, you know, just gonna start grinding away at it. But somehow the song came on, I started listening to it, and you know the lyrics start off on this first verse. He said, walk with the person. I give you my pain, so much on my mind. I wonder how it fit in my brain. Scattered thoughts, dark secrets, leading to a blacker heart. Life can't get any worse. Stevie with his glasses off. Nah, it's dramatic. Like in my situation, it was dramatic. But I felt like what I feel like he was feeling at that time. And so he starts off talking about what he's going through. But then he kind of progresses through the song, and then by the time you get to the end, we scroll to the end on this course, dude. It kind of gets more. It kind of shows a progression from like, okay, I'm in this dark place, and then you start pushing through, and then you like get to the end, and he says, like, what a day, what a life, another day, another night. At times like this, stuff is all blurry. Pray and hope that God heard me. Just for those praying for me, man, I know that y'all worry, but I ain't never failed, and you can bet I never will. And I even just now, just like reading it, I get chills, and it just shows like, if you're Christian or spiritual, you pray for these things and you just trust that God has you. And then it also speaks to like the support system that we have and that we have to have in order for us to keep pushing through, adversity that we face in life. And it's that pressure of feeling like, maybe you may or may not feel it, but pressure of like your people, like on you, like your family, Black people in general, being in whatever fields we're in, feeling that pressure and honor that you're representing them, and you just appreciate the support, and it kind of, I guess, guides you, and it just gives you that motivation to say like, okay, I'm gonna put the people on my back. I'm gonna represent. I'm gonna do well, and when I do well, that creates a path for everyone else is gonna like come along. So this song just really gives me motivation. And now whenever I'm like going through things or feeling like there's something I can't face, I just like listen to this song, and it just kind of motivates me.
I wanna add something to that real quick. But I just remember, so that album dropped in 2011. That was me and Matt's senior year, and we were roommates in college that year. Matt was playing it in the crib all the time, and then I remember I asked him to burn it one day, and like literally this was when CDs were getting burned. Like I still had a CD player in my car, and actually I think I still have one in my current car, but had the CD. I still have a whole thing of CDs like out in the living room somewhere, but. Yeah, I got the whole joint. I got all the album art, the booklets, all of it. It's like 100 CDs that fit in the joint. I still have them because that's a whole nother story. But I just remember Matt he pretty much put me on more J. Cole during that time, and then like that song has always been monumental for me. Sorry, I just had to add that.
Yeah, I saw J. Cole when he was coming up at Winston-Salem. It was like this hip hop festival thing they were doing, where they involved like breakdancing and like a hip hop showcase. We won that jam, by the way. It was a breakdance competition. Shout out to Energy and Drew. But after that, I used to breakdance. I'm retired.
Yeah.
But
got videos?
Yeah, I got some videos.
Ooh, we got to see those.
Maybe, another time. But yeah, the closing event was like J. Cole performing, and that was like his first mixtape or whatever. And so he was popular in North Carolina, like I say, like on the come up. But yeah, that was a cool moment to see him before he like really like took off. So
yeah, we had some gems. We had a whole homecoming concert in 2011. It was him, Wale, and Drake.